Jai Swaminarayan. Today we are reading from Sārangpur 14 of the Vachanāmrut. This one is titled Laziness and Infatuation. On Bhadarva Sudhi III, Samvat 1877, or the 10th of September 1820, Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj was sitting facing west on a large decorated cot on the veranda outside the rooms of Jivakachar's Darbar in Sārangpur. He was wearing a black-bordered white case and had covered himself with a white cotton cloth. He had also tied a white pug around his head. Bunches of yellow flowers adorned his ears, and tassels of yellow flowers had been placed upon his pug. In addition to this, a garland of yellow flowers was swinging from his neck all the way down to his navel. At that time, an assembly of munis, as well as devotees from various places had gathered before him. Thereupon, Swayam Prakashanand Swami asked a question. It is said in the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, that once a devotee attains the abode of God, i.e. Vaikuntha, etc., they never fall back from it. But which flaw causes some to fall back? Sriji Maharaj asked in return, who has attained the abode of God and then fallen back? Give me even one example. Swayam Prakashanand Swami replied, first of all, there are Jai and Vijay, the attendants of God who fell from Vaikuntha, and then there are Radhikaji and Sridama, who fell from Golok. It's a famous story that I'm familiar with. Jai and Vijay, who were, as Swayam Prakashanand Swami said, attendants in Vaikuntha, and due to some misfortune, some sin, they ended up falling, but under the command of God. And I think they were given a choice to either live out however many lifetimes on earth or just 3 lifetimes in hell. I don't know if hell is a good translation since that comes from an Abrahamic context. Narak, a lower region and a lower plane of reality. And there they took the 3 lifetimes in that lower lifetime, but in that lower realm, but with the clause that they would be able to remember the form of Narayan in their hearts and minds at all times. As for the story of Radhikaji and Sridama falling from Golok, I'm unfamiliar. But Sriji Maharaj then clarified, Jai and Vijay did fall, but it was only because God wanted to illustrate the glory of a sadhu, of a monk. That is, if one maligns a sadhu like the Sanakadik, then even if one attains an abode such as Vaikuntha, one can still fall from it. That is why they fell. Besides, Jai and Vijay did return to God's abode, Vaikuntha, in their 3rd life. Therefore, they cannot be said to have fallen. Rather, it happened because it was God's wish. In any case, one can only be said to have fallen when one never again retains any contact with God. Also, when Radhikaji fell from Golok, that too was by God's wish, as he himself wished to manifest in the human body to uplift countless jivas, individuals, and perform redemptive actions. Thus, if someone claims that Radhikaji fell, then God could be said to have fallen along with her. That is why she cannot be said to have fallen, because it was God's wish that they both came to earth from Golok. So in that instance, it should be recognized as being the wish of God only. Of course, if it is his wish, a mukta, a liberated being, may manifest in a body even from Akshar. Moreover, by his will, that which is Jad can become Chaitanya. That which is Chaitanya can become Jad. Chaitanya means pure awareness. I assume jad means something inert. God is, after all, extremely powerful, and whatever he wishes occurs. Therefore, no one who has attained the abode of God falls back from it without it being God's wish. However, one who does fall is a worldly, incomplete devotee who falls during the course of their spiritual endeavors. Such a person is called a yoga brashta. In contrast, those who have become enlightened through vairagya, worldly dispassion, atma realization, self-realization, bhakti, loving devotion towards God, brahmacharya, the conservation of the vital energies, etc., are equal to the muktas of Shwetdweep, the liberated beings of this abode. They never fall. Having explained this, Sriji Maharaj said, in the Udyog Parva of the Mahabharata, Sanat Sujat Rishi says to Dhritarashtra, he who abandons both laziness and infatuation has completely transgressed God's Maya, material existence. In fact, laziness and infatuation are Maya itself. Now, we are known to be renunciant devotees of God. If someone amongst us has laziness and infatuation, and if that person is not particularly vigilant in eradicating them by using the strength of God's glory, then what type of bliss does such a devotee experience in this body? Also, what type of bliss do they attain after they die? That is my question. Swayam Prakashanand Swami replied, a person who is a devotee of God need not worry too much if their laziness and infatuation are not eradicated by the deep thought of God's glory. At that point, Sriji Maharaj questioned, what is wrong with a devotee of God who has laziness and infatuation and is vigilant in their efforts to eradicate them? And what makes one who is not so vigilant better than the one who is? Swayam Prakashanand Swami explained, that devotee of God relies on the strength of God, not on the strength of their spiritual endeavors. That is why they are better. Sriji Maharaj questioned further, you are claiming that one who is careless, despite the enemies of laziness and infatuation being prevalent in them, is superior. Well, consider the example of a faithful partner. Due to the fear of their partner and the fear of preserving their fidelity, they remain very conscious in their mind, lest they smile at or touches another person in the same way they would their partner. Moreover, in their mind lies the following fear: if I behave permissively, my partner will think of me as an adulterer and will no longer accept my service. That would be a breach of my fidelity. Bearing this in mind, they remain ever vigilant. Now, you are claiming that a devotee who keeps bhakti, who keeps loving devotion, just like the faithful partner who is conscious in their efforts to eradicate laziness and infatuation, is at fault. Furthermore, you are suggesting that a devotee who is not concerned about eradicating laziness and infatuation, like a person who flirts with any other person they fancy and is not concerned about preserving their fidelity, is actually superior. Is this because of a misunderstanding on your behalf, or what? Remember, if a person remains careless, then even if they are a devotee of God, the two enemies of laziness and infatuation would not fail to hinder them. For example, when one drinks alcohol or bhang, then just as a non-believer becomes intoxicated, a devotee of God would also become intoxicated and delirious. In the same manner, just as alcohol and bhang in the form of laziness and infatuation hinder a non-believer, they hinder a devotee of God as well. The only difference, however, between a non-believer and a devotee of God is that a non-believer cannot eradicate these two enemies, whereas a devotee can overcome them if they remain vigilant in their efforts. That is the advantage a devotee of God has. Nevertheless, they are not better if they remain careless, even if they are a devotee of God. Thereafter, Sriji Maharaj asked another question. How many elements in the stool body, the physical body, is the physical body composed of, and how many elements is the sukshma, the subtle body, composed of? Are there equal elements in both, or does one have more or less than another? Please describe the nature of these two bodies. Swayam Prakashanand Swami attempted to answer the question, but was unable to do so satisfactorily. Thereupon all of the Munis said, Maharaj, please be kind enough to answer this question yourself. Sriji Maharaj then explained, the stool body, the physical body, is composed of the 5 elements, known as the 5 Mahabhuts, also known as the Panchabhuts in Sanskrit. Prithvi, earth, jal, water, etc. Fire, air, space. The sukshma body is composed of 19 elements. The 5 jnanindriyas, the 5 senses, the 5 karmendriyas, these are the 5 abilities of locomotion, which includes vocation and digestion and locomotion of our feet, etc. The 5 pranas, the 5 vital airs, and the 4 anthakarans, the 4 parts of a mind, you could say. Yet, only when the sukshma, the subtle body, is interwoven with the stool body, the physical body, can all activities be carried out properly, but not otherwise. This is because only when the sukshma, the subtle body, together with the indriyas, the senses, joins the stool body, which includes the indriyas' organs, i.e. the eyes, the ears, etc., can the respective vishai, sense object, or experience of the senses, of those indriyas be indulged in. This is not possible by the indriyas' organs of the stool body alone. Thus, the sukshma body, composed of the 19 elements, is interwoven with the stool body, composed of the 5 elements. That is why the stool body is also said to be composed of 24 elements. In the same manner, the pleasures of the sukshma body can only be indulged in when the sukshma body behaves as one with the stool body, which is composed of the 5 elements. That is why the sukshma body, which is composed of 19 elements, is also said to be composed of 24 elements. Moreover, because the stool, the physical body, is inherent within the sukshma, the subtle body, when a person associates with someone they're attracted to through their sukshma body, they may even release some vital fluid from their physical body. Thus, there is oneness between the stool, the physical body, and the sukshma, the subtle body, during the waking state and the dream state. Thereupon, the Munis remarked, Maharaj, this suggests that the sukshma, the subtle body, is the same as the stool, the physical body. So just as there is an effect of karmas, actions, on the stool, the physical body, is there a similar effect on the sukshma body as well? Or is there a difference? Sriji Maharaj replied, If one has just as strong of a belief that the sukshma body is mine as one has that the sthul body is mine, then the laws of karmas would apply to the sukshma body just as it does to the sthul body. Indeed, it is only to encourage the individual that the karmas of the sukshma body have been said to be insignificant. In comparison, neither the sthul body nor the sukshma body of one who has no consciousness of their sthul or sukshma bodies is affected by karmas. This is because such a person behaves only as the Atma, the true self. Thus, one who has such realization of one's Atma remains unaffected by karmas, by actions related to the sthul and sukshma, the physical and subtle bodies. Nonetheless, such a person would never physically perform any impure karmas. So there's no excuse. Furthermore, they endure any joy or pain resulting from their prarabdha, which is the karma that is currently unfolding from endless lifetimes prior. Even while experiencing them, they believe, I am not the one who experiences. I am the Atma. Conversely, a person who is ignorant and who identifies themselves with their body is affected by all karmas related to the sthul and sukshma bodies, and therefore they experience joy and pain according to their karmas. This is because an ignorant person, while experiencing whichever vishai, experience of the senses, sense object they indulge in, believes the body to be their true form and feels, I am the one who experiences these vishais. Then, in their final moments, such an ignorant person sees the servants of Yam. It happens to be my name. But it also refers to the god of death, also known as Yama in Sanskrit. They then become unaware of their body and enters a state of unconsciousness. Thereafter, the servants of Yam force him or them to leave their body and thus separate their jiva, their individual self. The jiva then receives the body of an evil spirit in which it suffers the torments of Yampuri, the city of death. That's what it literally translates to, the abode of Yam. A devotee of God possessing jnana, possessing knowledge, wisdom, on the other hand, sees God or his saint in their last moments. They also become unaware of their body and enter a state of unconsciousness. However, when that devotee discards their body and becomes separate from it, God grants them a divine body, like that of God, with which they reside in the abode of God. Thank you for listening. Thus we have come to the conclusion of Sārangpur 14. I hope that was insightful. Jai Swaminarayan.